Okay, so I just made a 12-minute long video. For some reason, I can't find it to post it here on my business page. But this is a GAF, and forgive me, I have not finished up the siding install. Like in this cable right here, and stuff. So there's a little bit of stuff up here. I'm gonna make this one a lot shorter. So GAF Liberty, that's what this roof system is. You can get it in a two-part system. For a 20-year warranty. It comes with a self-adhesive base sheet, which you gotta prime the roof deck. We built all this roof up. This was a flat roof. It's not flat anymore. It's got some slope to it. Raftered it, sheeted it, primed it. We primed the OSB with a specified asphalt primer. Okay, that tacks up. The base sheet then is self-adhesive. You stick it to that sheeting with that primer on it. You have to stagger it, offset the staggers on your base sheet as compared to, this is called the cap sheet. You offset that just to forbid and further protect any water infiltration. So everything we did up here is done to commercial spec. I did commercial roofing for a few years for Ohio and Indiana Roofing. I learned from the best. So the mast flashing is not simply a rubber like you would put on a shingle roof. It's not a metal base with a rubber seal. It is done with, this is primed. We had to cut the sheet to go around the mast, so this is cut underneath here. We put this circle around here. It's got little fingers that come up about an inch. We put this patch over, heat welded. Everything on this roof is heat welded. That's an extra step above and beyond what they call for. It's okay, it doesn't void the warranty. But this then is primed. Heat welded as well. That wrap on there, that will last as long as the warranty, if probably longer. It'll last longer than a typical pipe flashing on a shingled roof. The rubber on your shingled roof flashings will dry rot, deteriorate, crack, leak. That will never dry rot. I mean, it will 40 years down the road. So the drip edge where the gutter's going, which it's not on yet, drip edge rolls on over. I used a spray asphalt primer on the drip edge. Drip edge is nailed every 4 inches. It is sprayed with the asphalt primer, and then this edge is heat welded. You can kind of see the ooze maybe. This whole edge here, which is not rolled over the drip edge because it doesn't need to be. This was taped. The face of the drip edge was taped. The top of the drip edge was primed. This is heat welded also. You can see that bond. Water will never ever get in there. Wall flashings. Again, there's not too many people in the Darke County area that do it this way. Not too many smaller contractors anyway. Wall flashing. A lot of guys just run this cap sheet over to the wall and then caulk it or something silly, or they'll bend a piece of L metal and caulk under the L metal and just press it into it and then nail that to the wall. Or even I've seen them screw over top of the siding, the vinyl siding. You can see the J channel. I took the vinyl off. This is industry spec on a commercial application. You have 6 inches from the wall out on the deck, heat welded. This runs 8 inches up the wall. Siding's going to go back over that. If it ever leaks, it's not the roof system. It is not the roof system. That cannot leak. One last thing here, well, one or two, the laps. Okay, so the rolls aren't long enough to go all the way across this roof, so we have a 6-inch lap, which is what GAF calls for. GAF gives 2 different ways in which you can seal this lap here. It runs 3 foot up. You can either run you can trowel asphalt sealant on there, an asphalt adhesive, and push that into it, or you can heat weld it. So I heat welded this. The entire lap is welded. That's a 6-inch weld in there. The membrane, you can see kind of, this is what we call bleed out. And you can see where the asphalt has bled out. That will never come loose. At the joints here in the laps, I did what is called a T-patch. You put a T-patch on there that breaks the amount of exposed joints down in half, so it's less areas to potentially come loose or leak in the future, which this is with the heat weld, this is not coming loose. You can see all the long seams. Every one of those is heat welded. Everything up here is heat welded. This roof will not come apart. This roof will outlast me. Where the shingles tie in, so you got cap, GAF system, comes up, transitions to the shingles. This runs up underneath those shingles to about here. That gives almost 2 foot, about 2 foot, 2.5 foot, where snow, water, ice would have to back up underneath the shingles and get in. That's not going to happen, and here's why it's not going to happen. These shingles, instead of nailing back through the new membrane and puncturing and potentially causing a leak, punctures, leak, this is all heat welded again. I heat welded the shingles. The shingles, any shingle we took loose was heat welded back down. So this is, if I was to try to pull these shingles off, I would have to pull this membrane off. It's one unit, and that's what you want with a roof system. You want it to become one unit. That's what you want with a siding system. Everything should be one unit. So there's that.